I went to see Bob Dylan and Mark Knopfler in concert last night with Luis and my parents friends, and it got me thinking. When you go to see a concert, do you typically want to see the performance, like a live performance of the album version of songs that you know and love? Or do you want to see, like, something new? The person performing, but you want to hear it a little differently because, you know, it's live and exciting to hear it differently. I know for me, a lot of times I kind of go expecting to hear the song the way that I know the song, but that's not really the point of concerts. Concerts are supposed to be kind of a new experience and an exciting, different experience so that you... because otherwise it's like, just listen to the album if you don't want to hear it sung differently. When Mark Knopfler was performing, he mostly didn't perform songs that I knew. He only performed one song by Dire Straits that I know, and the rest were like new stuff. And it was fine because, you know, you're seeing a performance of this guy that you like, presumably. So you want to hear new stuff and, you know, get excited about some of the new sound. And it was sort of the same way with Bob Dylan because he sounds completely different. Like, don't go to a Bob Dylan show expecting him to sound like the stereotypical 1960s folky woo singer, because he will not sound like that. He sounds kind of like if Wolfman Jack was a jazz singer. That's kind of how he sings now, and he puts spaces in each lyric, so it's kind of like poetry. That's the way my mom described it. He turns his songs into poetry, and he sits at the piano. He has like a baby grand, and he plays the piano and he plays the harmonica, but he never picked up the guitar. And some people, I could tell, were disappointed that Bob Dylan didn't sound the way that they expected him to sound and didn't sing the songs the way that they knew them. But, you know, if you go to see someone in concert, I think it's kind of nice to have it be something different. I also don't like it if the performer doesn't talk at all. At least Bob Dylan, he introduced the band, and it was so funny because when he introduced the band, he sounded like himself. He started talking the way that he used to talk in the 60s. He just sings like Wolfman Jack. And if you don't know who Wolfman Jack is, it's actually before my time too, but he's on Sirius Radio on the 60s, I think. And if you've seen American Graffiti, which I think is George Lucas's best film, I said it. If you've seen American Graffiti, Wolfman Jack is a big part of that. He's actually in it, which is cool, because he's a guy from the radio. But he had a very gravelly, awesome voice. But anyway, so yeah, I just started thinking about that. It's kind of like if you have nostalgia for somebody and you see them in concert and you expect them to be like they were in the era that they're famous for, a lot of times they will not sound that way. The exception was Paul McCartney still sounds pretty Paul McCartney-y. But still, when you go to see Paul McCartney, he sings newer stuff. He doesn't just spend the whole time singing Beatles songs or Wings songs. So a lot of times I think that concerts, what it comes down to is concerts are the way to bring back kind of the way that you felt when you heard the songs, and you try to like recapture that. And sometimes it can be disappointing if they sing it completely differently because it's jarring or whatever. So I don't know. I just started thinking about that. I think the best concert, one of the best concerts that I ever went to, where the music sounded quite similar to the way it sounds on the album, was Bare Naked Ladies. They do a really good job of doing things a little differently, but not changing it so much that the song doesn't sound the same. Because I must admit, some of the Bob Dylan songs I didn't even recognize. Like Blowin' in the Wind, I didn't recognize until he got to the chorus, just because it sounded so different. But I enjoyed it. I had fun. And I think you just have to kind of go to a concert with an open mind and expect to be shown something different than what you are used to, maybe. I don't know. It depends on the artist. This is my final video before Thanksgiving, probably, unless I think of something tomorrow, but tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you when I see you, which will probably be later. And also I won't see you because I'm talking to a camera. You look kind of like a camera, a blue camera with a lens, standing on a thing. I'm gonna stop talking now. Happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat turkey. I mean, eat whatever you want within reason. If you want to do Black Friday, go to a store that's not a huge store because otherwise you might get mauled. It's especially funny if you shop in the mall and you get mauled in the mall. I seriously am gonna stop now.